Hi guys, how are you guys doing? Hopefully your summer is going along well. I'm just doing this quick video to share my experience having getting infected with COVID. And some of you asked me a question after I posted my video on chicken and vegetable soup, where I mentioned that I was recovering from COVID. So some of you wanted to know what my experience was. So I'm just doing this quick short video to tell you what my symptoms were like and what actually helped me recover faster. So I got infected on my last day in India. I had been on a vacation to India, to Mumbai, and pretty much many people over there were having viral infections. Not everybody was being tested for COVID. Even within my family, there were three people who were having symptoms, and so it's actually a surprise that I could stay away for 3 weeks without getting infected. However, on my last day there, um, it was a Saturday when I was flying that night on Saturday, but that morning itself, I started getting some throat symptoms, like the my throat felt slightly scratchy and itchy. So I immediately went on to my usual go-to for sore throat. So I did a hot water with salt gargle, salt water gargle with hot water a couple times. Then after that, I just kept drinking a lot of herbal and green tea, hot, because that's what I felt like will comfort my sore throat, and I didn't feel like having anything else. So I kept having a lot of hot teas, and my appetite also, I could sense that it had gone down immediately that day. With along with the sore throat, my appetite went down, and then so I decided to take it easy. So for my last meal before I went to the airport, I just had a soup and ordered bone soup or paya soup, which is goat bone soup. So I just had that with a little bit of cooked white rice. Then in the airport, my condition began to get worsen. I could sense that my throat began to, start feeling even more painful, and plus I began to get feeling feverish, and I felt like my body was achy a little bit, and you know, and I was beginning to get a temperature. So I again went to some of my homeopathic remedies. So I had um, a couple homeopathic remedies that usually are helpful for me when I have a sore throat, that is Hepar sulf and Phytolacca. I had those two, but I could see that it was not really helping, because usually when they help, I can make out that they are helping. So then I also had arsenicum, which is also indicated for COVID. So I, had the arsenicum pills with me in my bag, in my purse. So I had those at the airport. And then again in the airport, as we were waiting for our boarding, I just felt like having something hot to drink. So I had a chai tea latte from Starbucks with soy milk. And that, helped me because it was hot, and with those spices, that helped a lot. And then once on the flight, I just did not feel like eating or eating anything at all. So I refused, meals, most of my meals. Although I had checked in for a gluten-free option, but I, refused my meals. I had packed some food with me, but I did not feel like, eating anything. So most of my flight journey, 18-hour journey, I had green tea, lots and lots of green tea. I felt sorry to bother my, flight attendant so much, but I kept calling her again and again, ordering green tea, because that's all I felt like drinking. Even water, I could not drink like cold water, because by then, like my throat was like horrible. It was like really, really bad. Like I could barely speak. It was hurting. It was just very painful. It was just a miserable flight, let me tell you. Fortunately, my daughter was next to me. I mean, and Fortunately, till now, she hasn't contracted the virus, which is a surprise. But I even started coughing on the flight, and even though I had my N95 and everything, I was constantly coughing throughout the flight. I had this horrible, dry cough, and coughing hurt my throat even more. And then I just kept having more and more hot teas. That's all. I don't know how, guys, I um, completed the journey, because it was like the most torturous of all journeys so far. Anyway, so once I came back, once I reached the US, on the flight, another thing I did was, thankfully, I had Tylenol with me, paracetamol. So I kept taking paracetamol at 4 to 6 hour intervals, and that helped even the throat pain, because the throat was like really so painful, like pain, that the Tylenol helped to, dull that pain a little bit. Plus, I had body ache and fever as well. So that helped. I chose not to eat anything much on the flight, because that way I could give my digestive system a break, and that would give more power to my immune system to recover. Oh yeah, the talking about immune system, the other supplements that I started having as soon as I had began to have these symptoms before I started flying, was vitamin C and zinc. I have on a regular basis, as is I have like 1 gram of vitamin C on a daily basis. But as soon as my symptoms, I started getting the throat symptom, I doubled the dose. So I started having it with lunch as well as with dinner. And same thing with zinc. I started having, 15 milligrams of zinc, both after lunch and dinner. And then I continued to take a dose even when I was on the plane. And then again, after reaching home, um, I just hit the bed. My symptoms were really, really bad. Like it was like the worst kind of flu ever. A lot of pain, throat pain, and cough, and the dry cough that I had been coughing up for the 24 hours, took a toll, and like my ribs and my abdomen and, all those things started hurting. So it was really very painful. What I then, after I reached home, I just, went to bed, and I slept like for, I think, 10 hours straight, which was good, which was helpful, because, when you sleep, it helps your body recover faster. And so then the next morning, my symptoms were a little bit lesser. However, the, fever continued to be there for 4 days. So I kept taking Tylenol every 6 hours or 8 hours or so. And there were some products that helped me, which is what I wanted to share you for the throat. So I had this organic throat coat tea, uh, and this has slippery elm and licorice, etc. Those herbs actually. So it was very helpful. It doesn't have any caffeine in it. It's herbal completely. But when you make a tea out of it and, keep sipping that, you can also add some honey to it, which actually helps as well. So I kept having this tea like 3 to 4 times in a day. They also have throat coat drops. So I had those also, that helped. The other thing that really helped my throat pain, as well as the sore throat, was this homeopathic remedy called as throat calm. So I ordered this from Whole Foods, the very next day after I came here. And this has like a variety of homeopathic medications. So it was really helpful. And there are instructions on this on terms of how you need to take, but you basically need to take two. These are chewable tablets that they dissolve under your tongue. So you need to take two immediately at the beginning of your symptom, and then take them every 15 minutes, like two every 15 minutes for an hour. And then you continue to take two every 4 hours or so. And this like really, really helped me a lot. Then the other thing that helped me was this Beekeeper's Natural um, honey lozenges. And this is again, like, because your throat hurts and you have this cough, you want something to suck. so that it prevents your cough, prevents you coughing a lot. And these are great because it's hard to find Los Angeles cough drops without sugar. But this one has only honey and monk fruit, which is great because I really react to sugar, cane sugar, any type of cane sugar. And generally, I get like pain, like my RA pain flares up if I have sugar, cane sugar of any sort. So I really wanted to avoid the sugar. And this was a great product. I mean, this is a great product, Beekeeper's Naturals, which are made with honey and monk fruit. And bonus, it also contains, bee propolis, and for immunity support, as well as uh, it also contains zinc and vitamin D. So that's why these are great, so it like bolsters your immunity, not just soothes your throat. So these are like three products that really helped me. And the third day I began to feel a little bit better. Fourth day I felt like much better. And at the end of the fourth day, my fever broke, and I didn't have fever after that. So fifth day onwards, fifth, sixth, seventh days, I only had like this horrible dry cough. And I continue to have like the hot teas for that. Those are the things that really helped me. And I continue to have the honey um, cough drops. Those also helped. And now finally, today's the 10th day, and I feel much, much better. In terms of food, how did we manage? Because I had to be isolated. My husband also caught it from me within 2 days. So the first 2 days, my husband cooked, and he made soup for me, chicken soup and chicken with sweet potato noodles. So I had that. But honestly, the first 2 days, I didn't have any appetite. I did not feel like eating anything. The only thing I felt like having was kanji, rice kanji. So I had a little bit of, that, a lot of water, the kanji, and a little bit of rice with it. I just kept having that, whatever, like, felt good for the body. Then the second day, I had more of the chicken noodle soup. And then the third day, again, I felt like having rice. So I was feeling a little bit better. And by the third day, my husband got infected. So unfortunately, so he also had to be isolated. And then we both had to be isolated. We were trying to prevent our children from getting it. And so we were like, entering the kitchen very cautiously when nobody was around and do some quick cooking. And then our children also helped with the cooking, like my son, made some meals for us. So that was very helpful. And then I made the soup that I shared the video yesterday, the chicken and vegetable soup. So that's a huge batch of soup, and that actually helped us for at least 3 meals. So especially when you have it with rice on the side, it can make, you can really stretch it. So those meals like that are what helped me. I also made like a rasam with cranberry, and that actually was, with rice. I felt like having that, because I put a lot of black pepper in it and garlic, and that helped, kind of clear up the sinuses a little bit. Yeah, talking about clearing up the sinuses, inhalation was another thing I did. Right from, after I reached, I kept doing steam inhalation at least once a day. I continued with it even after my, I didn't have a lot of nasal congestion, but I continued with the inhalation to soothe my throat and the dry cough, to kind of get those things out. Uh, so that helped. I think that's about it. Those are the main things. And the biggest thing is, don't get stressed about it. It's under control. It'll run its course. And, you just have to take rest. Oh, yeah, one important thing. Being, being an RA patient and being on HCQ, hydroxychloroquine, and methotrexate, The thing I did regarding my medications was I continued with hydroxychloroquine every day because my rheumatologist had told me that if I ever contracted COVID, that I should continue with HCQ. But he had also told me that to stop my methotrexate. So I started getting symptoms on a Saturday, correct? And then Monday was my day for methotrexate. So what I did was, I reached home on Sunday, but I skipped my methotrexate dose on Monday. And today is Monday, but I have, I'm not likely to take it this Monday as well. So basically, I'm going to skip 2 doses of methotrexate and then get back on it the coming week. So that is important because methotrexate suppresses the immune system. And when you have an infection like COVID, you need all the support from the immune system. So this is something that my rheumatologist had also, recommended to me when I had checked with him a while ago. So I just, implemented that recommendation. So that's it. Other than that, I don't think COVID so far has caused any flare, of my RA or any of my joints. However, I'm going to be proactive and I'm going to take extra steps to heal my gut. So I'll continue with the bone broth every day for a while. And I'll also continue with the gut healing supplements like, GI Revive is something that I take regularly, which has L-glutamine and DGL and other healing supplements for the gut. So I'll continue to take that. I will add a probiotic capsule again to my regimen. And then that way, slowly I will, help my body heal itself or heal the leaky gut. Okay, so I hope this was useful. Take care.